Good morning. This is Jerome, and I'll be bringing a message today. And the message is called God Our Source. Now, I wanted to say this about God being our source, because from time to time, we might think that our job is our source, our hookup that we know the CEO of this, that company or whatever, or either our education could be our source. Or either what we do or who we work with or who we work for, what corporation. Oh, my son just made it to the NFL. Oh, he's first round pickup for the NBA. Or my son is going to the major leagues. Or my daughter made it to the WNBA. Those are good sources, y'all, but they're not the source. God is the source. And in Genesis 22:14, it reads as this. It says, and Abraham called the name of that place Jehovah Jireh. And that means God will provide. So if you think in your job is your provision, you think in your education your provision, and you think in the hookup and all this and people you know and people you can rub elbows with is your provision, stop it. It's not. God is the provider. And I was told, it was told by some scholars that the rams, that ram that was caught in the thicket, it had to be God because in that particular region, they don't have the hoofs to go that high and climb that high up there. Now, certain type of goats can climb that high with the certain type of hoofs they got on their feet. They got them hinds feet, but they don't have the type of hoofs to even go that high. So it was God. And so that's what we got to understand. We know without a shadow of doubt, God is our provider. Now, I will say this, though. God can use our jobs. He can use the hookups. He can use the sources that we know for as our education and the people we know and the right connections and the right people get lined up with the right people and all that. He can use that. And God uses those things as resources. Don't get it twisted. Not the source or not your source. God is the source. And I'm going to read this scripture from Luke 12:19-20. And it reads as thus. And I would say to my soul, there's much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said unto him, thou fool, this night. Now, if God called you a fool, you be a fool. He said, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then who shall those things be which I provided? See, notice that provision again. God said, I'll provide. God said, I provided all that. This was a rich man in the Bible. He had barns. He had a lot of goods. And he said, I'm going to fill my barns. He said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tear down these barns. And then he said, I'm going to build more barns. Like he got it going on. He Big Willie. He's big time. So I'm going to build more barns. And then and then God said, hey, I got to run that check on you, man. It's time to give it up now. You done. You see? Then who's those things to be which I provided? So it'd be somebody else's stuff. So we can't get caught up into accumulating all this stuff, thinking we did it. Let me share this with you guys, everybody. Ain't nobody self-made. I hear people say, yeah, I'm self-made. You're not. God made you and God provided everything. Stop that. No one's self-made. And that's to anybody in the Christian realm and anybody in the world realm. Even in the world, you're not self-made. God made everything. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that because at times I've gotten beside myself, acting like I did this and what I've accomplished and all that. That's what happened to Nebuchadnezzar, you guys. He said, look at this great Babylon I built. You see, and God said, hey, your kingdom is weighed in the balance right now. I'm about to take all this from you. See, God is the provider, y'all. The resources, the jobs and all that, those are good resources God used. See, my job is not my source. What I learned and all the trainings I got in security and all that stuff, that's not my source. My source is from God. And I just want to share that with everybody. God is the source. That's it. That's it and that's all. So when we trying to find ourselves getting beside ourselves and thinking we've done this and look at me, no one, you guys, is self-made. No one. God made. God provide. See, and I'm going to read this scripture to you guys from James 1-17. It says, don't err, my beloved brothers. Every good gift and every perfect gift comes from above, down from the Father of lights. There it go again. So who providing? Not you, not me, not nobody but God. That's our source. God comes and gives. God gives us everything. He gives us our breath we breathe. He gives us the air we breathe. He gives us the heart, pump, the blood in our bodies that pump. It even said in the Old Testament, it said, I am the Lord thy God. I give you the power to get wealth. So it's all about God, y'all. So I just wanted to share that with you, a quick little information on who's the source. God is our source. Not our job, not our hookups, not our connections, not our education, but God. And it also says in Ephesians 3:20, but now unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think, according to that power that worketh in us. See, it's God. Now unto who? Him. Not unto you, not unto me, but God. He's the one that gives us all power. He's given us everything that we need, you know. And one thing I can say is that he will never leave us nor forsake us and leave us out there to dry. He will always come through. So whenever we need something, God is our provider. It said, ask, it'll be given unto you. Seek and you will find, and knock and the door will be unto you. So whosoever asks, it will be given. Whosoever seek, they shall find. And whosoever knock, that door shall be opened up to that man. So remember, dear ones, our source is God. He uses the jobs, he uses the education, and he uses other things like hookups and connections and the right people for our resources as a resource. But never, 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 ever get it twisted that those are our sources. God is our source. Jehovah Jireh, God will provide. God bless.